Nayan, Anya Taylor Joy, 30 lines of dialogue in Furiosa. So very much like Mad Max Fury Road, I believe Tom Hardy had like 62 lines of dialogue. So Anya Taylor Joy's having about half of what Mad Max did in the first one. And so it got people to really question why. And the reason for George Miller is simple. For him, he says movies should be fast. That's very much what Mad Max Fury Road is. But he believes that dialogue actually slows movies down. Do you agree with that statement? And does this change anything in terms of your hype for Furiosa, as I know it's your like most anticipated?
No, to answer the latter. And depends on the movie to answer the former. I mean, obviously, you can't have Oppenheimer without any dialogue, because that's stupid. But a film like Mad Max, it's perfectly fine to have its minimal dialogue, because Mad Max is not known for their dialogue, it's known for the action set pieces. And that's probably what we're going to get in Furiosa as well, is we're going to get some grand action set pieces. And where Anya Taylor-Joy doesn't really have to say that much. I mean, I'd feel Chris Hemsworth would probably get the most, just because of his character and the way he turns out. So I feel he'll get the most dialogue, but it's still very much a Furiosa movie at the end of the day. But yeah, it depends on the movie. If it's anything action, we all know action movies are just brain dead movies. You just go there to watch the actions. So minimal dialogue on those films are better. But if it's something like a thriller or a drama, George Miller's more or less comments are irrelevant.
Let me help provide some perspective for you. Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, is 2.5 hours. And we are currently 11 minutes into this podcast, and you've probably said more words than Anya Taylor-Joy says in that 2.5 hour movie.
That's good, but this podcast doesn't have any action in it,
I mean, we're going super fast through all these categories, man. I mean, it's feeling like a lot more action intense, this podcast, but
we're not smashing our laptops across another laptop, we're not throwing spikes or anything.
I mean,
that
we can
takes like 10 minutes.
Try that. I mean, yeah, I think this is it's still too little, I feel. It's just, I think that you need character in movies, regardless of whether it's an action movie or not. Just because if you are watching an action movie and you don't care about the characters, then and it's good action, you're just watching good action. That's all it really is. But being tied to the characters means you have a bit of an emotional investment into the action. You care about that action a lot more. You're actually going through different kinds of feelings watching the movie. You're scared for the characters if they're in danger, all that stuff. I think George Miller is wrong for his take on that. And I know I'm not a director. He can make far better movies than I ever could. But that's my opinion, because I reckon Mad Max Fury Road, if you really were connected to those characters, that action sequences, they would be so much more intense. I think Mission Impossible does fall a little bit victim as well, because the characterization in that movie is not great, but it's better. And therefore, I think the action just pays off a lot more when you have that, that emotional connection to the character. So 30 lines for a 2.5 hour movie, man, like that's ridiculous. We've probably heard at least, 3 of those lines in the trailers by now. So
probably.
Yeah. We'll see how it pays off. We're hearing good things, but hey, it's George Miller, Mad Max work. So yeah, it doesn't change my hype, but his, I guess, reasoning for this is something I just don't really agree with. Yeah, but to you guys, what do you guys think on this one? 30 lines of dialogue for a 2.5 hour movie. Is that too little, too much? Is it just right for this movie? Let us know down below. We'll have a chat about it.